Hi there, my name is Natasha Frakes, and I am the VP of Communications for Torque Resources. I've been with the company for almost 6 years now, and I can confidently say that my confidence in our ability to become the next exploration success has never been stronger. In this market, I'm sure a lot of you are here to pick out the undervalued companies with serious potential. The companies that have been strong enough to survive this market, still able to raise money, still able to drill and advance their projects, and not just drill, but drill good, solid results. The companies that, while doing all that, proving their worth and tenacity, have also likely taken a big hit to their share price. So from a value standpoint, they are more appealing than ever. These are the companies you want to be involved with when the market turns and that inevitable bull run hits. And Torque checks all those boxes. Now I have and will continue to make some forward-looking statements. The greatest stories in exploration come from the projects that are overlooked and almost impossible to acquire. We happen to have 3 of these projects in our portfolio. Our flagship project, Santa Cecilia, is a gold-copper project in the Maricunga Belt that is surrounded by mines and deposits, yet it sat almost completely dormant for about 30 years. And we are following up on a drill hole that was in 2012 that hit about 1 kilometer of copper mineralization. We'll be drilling that again in a few weeks, and I will be speaking more on that later. We also are next to the 4th largest undeveloped gold project in the world, Norte Abierto, with our Santa Cecilia project. So we provide clear leverage to that project, and I'll talk more on this later as well. Next, we have our Margarita iron oxide copper gold project. This had never been drilled. It was walked over for years, and it was in a similar situation where it was owned by a wealthy mining family. And they actually forgot they even had it. So when we came into the picture, we conducted the first drill program, and now we've done 3 drill programs, and in those 3 drill programs, we've made 3 discoveries. So those are the 2 projects that I will focus on for today. We completed a $5.3 million raise that just closed on January 4th, and the majority of that will go to drilling our Santa Cecilia project. Importantly, in that $5.3 million, we had a strong continued vote of confidence from Gold Fields. They initially invested $15 million into us in 2022. And in this last raise, they contributed an additional $1.3 million, bringing their ownership position to about 15.5%. One of the most crucial ingredients to our past and current success and the future success of Torque is our team. It's how we've survived this market, how we've acquired these coveted properties, and how we've managed to make multiple discoveries. Our Vancouver team is led by Sean Wallace. He's our CEO, and he's generated multiple exploration successes prior to Torque Resources. Those include Caden Resources and Keegan Resources. In Chile, our team is led by Waldo Quadra. He has dedicated his life to the mining industry in Chile. He's worked for most of the majors in a higher-up role, and he knew exactly where we needed to be in Chile. So following his guidance, our projects and our portfolio, they are his brainchild. They are projects that he has been looking at for the last 15 plus years, eager to explore them should he have the chance. So now to Santa Cecilia, our flagship project, and a truly rare opportunity. As I mentioned to you, Newmont and Barrick is surrounding us, so you can see them in the turquoise there. Newmont, that project is called Norte Abierto, and it's made up of a cluster of deposits, the 2 biggest of which are called Caspiche and Cerro Casale. Caspiche bumps up right beside us, and that consists of 25 million ounces of gold and 7 billion pounds of copper. It's part of the same hydrothermal alteration system that we have overlapping onto our property. It age dates the same, so it is a direct analog for what we have at Santa Cecilia. And what we are aiming to do is to create synergy that could potentially help to turn this Norte Abierto project on, because right now it is not being mined. It is not, and the 2 main deposits, Caspiche and Cerro Casale, they're about 12 kilometers apart, and there's a mountain range between them. Whereas Caspiche is within 1 kilometer. It really bumps up against us. Not a lot of surface work was done on Santa Cecilia prior to us getting there because, as I mentioned, it was held by this private owner for a long time. And so when we got there, we did all the surface work and we came up with 7 porphyry targets. You can see that Caspiche deposit that's just off to the side of us. And the 7 porphyry targets, the center of which, where you see the red, that is where the drilling is completed. That's where the owner drilled 2 holes in 2012, one of which hit almost 1 kilometer of copper that I mentioned earlier. And we stepped out from that hole with 2 drill holes. And then those other targets that are in blue, that are closer to the Caspiche deposit, those are targets that had never been sampled before. They've never been drilled. And they have outcropping copper mineralization right on surface. And so we think that that could be a potential extension of that Caspiche deposit right next to us. And one of them in particular, it's called Gemelos Norte. It's on the other side of a valley from Caspiche. So we think it could potentially even be the mirror image of what we have next door at Caspiche. This is what you see when you stand at the center of the project and look towards Caspiche. You can see the synergy that would exist. And given the proximity and what we're seeing on surface and the first drill results, this had not been drilled out, and this is truly a major project. If this had been in the hands of an exploration company or a major before us, this project would be a pincushion. So now I'm showing you a cross-section of the drill intercept. So the faded drill intercept, that is the drill intercept that was drilled in 2012 by the private owner. The 2 next to it we drilled last year. And what you're seeing are the histograms for the copper and gold, and you can see that the grade is improving as we head towards the south. So we think that we are vectoring towards that high-grade causative intrusion. So what we drilled is our best hole was 557 meters of 0.38 gold, 0.23% copper, which is 80% higher gold grade than what was drilled historically. And next door at Caspiche, the average grade is around 0.55 gold, 0.23% copper, so we're really not far off from that. Now, because we're comparing it to Caspiche so much, I'm going to show you a direct side-by-side. So what you're seeing on the left is from Exeter's presentation of Caspiche, and the purple finger that's coming up the center, that's the high-grade center. So it's really only about 100 meters wide. And when you are drilling into that, you're drilling about 1,200 meters of 0.9 gold, 0.33% copper. But if you just step outside of that by a few hundred meters, then you're drilling 500 meters of about 0.4 gold and 0.25% copper. That is arguably what we just drilled. So we think that we are vectoring closer to that high-grade causative intrusion, and that is what we are going to be aiming to hit in our next drill program. We are looking to find the next 25 million ounces of gold, 7 billion pounds of copper deposit. It really has the potential to be a true giant. The question right now is truly just tenacity. And at this stage, that we've continued to demonstrate that. Where we have clear leverage to the Norte Abierto project, and we're looking to find that world-class deposit that's within 4 kilometers of Caspiche. So we'll be starting drilling in early February. We're planning on a couple thousand meters, and we're expecting results between May and June. Now to our Margarita project. We've had 3 drill programs there, 3 discoveries. It's in the coastal Cordillera belt, low elevation, near to the coast, very easy to access. And our neighbors include Candelaria, Manto Verde, and this is truly the target for a mid-tier. So this has now become a legit discovery at this point. The mineralization is right at surface, and what we've identified now is an 800-meter long mineralized structure, an additional structure right beside it. So we're hitting grades, like 90 meters of 0.94 gold, 0.84% copper, and then we also hit two secondary structures that have oxide copper. So in the north we're in sulfide copper, in the south we're in oxide, and so at this point it's about seeing what the tonnage potential of this project. So we need to continue to drill to see how big this potentially could be to make it a real target for a mid-tier. So we're going to expand on our discoveries that we made from the last round of drilling. We're planning our phase 4 drill plan right now, and this project will be our focus for the second half of the year. So it's important to remember that while the market has hit us hard, the reason we acquired these projects hasn't changed. The potential, the grade, the scalability, the jurisdiction, and the neighbors. So if anything, we've now really begun to prove our initial theories are right on the money, and the results we have should speak for themselves. Thank you.